Hello, hello, Crossroads witches and other interesting magical beings. I do hope everyone is doing well out there. As you can tell, the scenery behind me has changed. In fact, everything has changed for me. I'm in the process of shutting this place down, packing it up, and shipping it across country to South Carolina. In the meantime, I'm going to keep doing videos, social medias to the best of my ability. And of course, I want to give an extra special shout out to all of my subscribers, my followers, and my members. Thank you all so much for your support. It means everything to me. Now, with that said, today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects is freezer spells, a form of banishment, which is also cursing. And I know some folks are going to be like, no, Taren, it's not cursing. Yes, it is. All right. You can split hairs however you want to do it. All right. But all I'm going to say is you ain't wishing anybody any blessings. All right. So what is a freezer banishment spell? It is when we want to freeze somebody out or freeze a situation out. We want to stop it. All right. A very good thing for situations, I tell people, especially if you're wanting to slow down a court case, is to take a copy of the papers, put them up into a container that you can put water in, freeze them solid, wrap it in some tin foil, and slow it down. All right. You can also use a freezer spells as a form of banishment, as in, I don't want to ever see your ass here again. So I'm going to take your name, any information I have about you, preferably a tag lock and or a picture, and I'm going to put it in a container, fill it full of water, and I'm going to freeze it. And I'm also going to wrap it in tin foil with the shiny side inward. Yes, ma'am, that was a mouthful. I know. Now I'm going to break it back down and slow it down for you so we can go over that step by step. We're going to start with the situation of I don't want him, she, them, they, it around no more. They are bothering me. I don't want to wish them no foul. I just don't want to see them. All right. So a very effective way to do that is with a freezer spell, a form of banishment. And as I said earlier, yes, it is cursing. All right, you want to get a container. My favorite containers are, I get these from up at Family Dollar General Store. They are the perfect little size, all right, if you can get them. You can use an ice cube tray. If you do use like a glass container, a plastic container, always remember to allow for the ice to raise up, never fill it directly to the top. I found if I fill it about 2/3 full, then it'll go right up to the edge of that line, just as pretty as you please. Now, what do I put in here? Ideally, I want to put a tag lock, some representation of that person. All right, one of the easiest things I can use is a photograph of the person. All right, a piece of hair, piece of nail, okay. Another thing you can use is footprint dirt. Where you know that person's walked, you just take a little smidge of that dirt. All right, you're going to put it up in there. Okay? Whatever form of tag lock. Now, say, I ain't got none of those. What am I supposed to do? Well, you get you a piece of paper, and you're going to write that person's name down. Now, some folks tell you that you need to write it down 3 times, 5 times, 7 times. You need to write it down in a circle. You got to write it down going this way, and then you got to turn it, write it going down that way, and then you got to flip it over, write it the other way. If that makes you feel good. All right. Ultimately, you're wanting to really make sure you have a strong visualization of this person when you're writing the name down. And if you feel like you need to write it down 3 more times, 5 more times, 7 more times, you need to write it up and down and sideways. Do it. All right. Also, if you happen to have that person's date of birth, good to put on here. Maybe a couple little physical descriptors on the back, whatever you would like to use to further tag, to further put that person's energy into this paper. All right? That's what you're going to do. Once you got your paper. Now remember, this is a magical operation. Okay? This is spell work. This is a working, however you want to do it. So make sure you got your area set up with all your ingredients. And of course, I'm going to tell you, set your area up. This is bay rum, which is really good for just clearing the area up. I want to make sure ain't nothing affecting what I'm doing. All right? Now, you also, I always strongly recommend, make sure you wash your hands up really good, or you at least rinse them off with a little bit of Florida water. All right, again, you don't want to make sure none of anything from over here is affecting here. And when you're done with doing this, you again want to make sure that you cleanse yourself off really good, that ain't none of this on you. Ooh, Florida water. It is just good for everything, all right? And this is a time where you also may want to light a candle, all right? Light you some incense. Set you up a little area for your working. Make sure that your space is feeling it. Feel those sparks of magic starting to happen, all right? Now, breathe that through. Write your names down. Now again, how you fold your paper is a personal preference. If you want to fold it over once, if you want to fold it over twice, you need to fold it 3 ways. However you need to fold it, all right? Now put it in there. You're going to pour water and full moon water, tap water, puddle water, swamp water. Although swamp water don't freeze too well, so I really wouldn't use it for this working. Whatever your water choice is, you need to freeze it into the water. Okay, now the next thing you need to do, once you got your little container, little piece of tin foil, shiny side in. We want to keep the energies in. So we are taking the shiny side of our tin foil. We are going to wrap it how again? If you want to wrap it like a gift bag, if you want to ball it all up, this is not, do it till you feel like it is done the way it should be. All right? I typically like to I have my own little system where I like to make sure that it's really sealed, all the edges are folded, and then I fold it over. All right. Now at this point, I would tell you witches to label it, because if you're putting it in your freezer, you will be like, in a couple months, who, what, where is this? So put a little label on it. Second thing you're going to want to do, you preferably don't want to put this where your food is. Don't put it next to stuff that you're using. If you want to tuck it up out of the way, if you have to use your main freezer, if you are blessed enough to have your own little small Banishing freezer, that's where you're going to put it. Okay, most common question I get asked about this working is, how long does it last? Well, we can look to Mother Nature, who typically tells us that within a year, things change. Within a year, you're going to be different. I'm going to be different. Guess what? The person that you put in here, they're different too. And so are the energies around. So your banishment freezing spell typically has a 4-season, a full year and a day of efficiency, effigy, full working power. Now, after the year and a day, you'll pick it up and you'll be like, yeah, they don't feel like it's froze no more. Or at least that's how it feels for me. You can then unwrap it. Please recycle. If you're using plastic, do not bury it in the dirt. All right. Please dispose of it responsibly, or as in my case, I rinse them out and use them again. Now, what if I know this person is still a shit? Well, simply open it back up, redo it, fresh new piece of paper, rework the intention, reaffirm the fact that you are still a shit and I'm still keeping you frozen for another year, and then put them back in your freezer for a year. And hopefully in a year they'll be doing better, because that's ultimately what we want, All right, so here is a base rundown on a freezer spell, what it does, how to do it, and everything else. I want to know your creativity with this spell, because I know some of you witches that watch my channel are too damn smart and have the best ideas. So please tell me your twist, your take, your creativity when it comes to a freezer spell. I would love to know. And of course, I'm going to give a shout out that we are going to be starting a book club. Here in the next couple of weeks, we will be getting together with the House of Witchcraft with several of our different covens, also our 13 Moon members. And this is free, public, open. Come join us. If you are interested, please DM me on Instagram or on Facebook, or email me directly at oneamusingwitch with I'm interested in Taren in joining our book club. It will be on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we are down to a selection of 2 books, in which both are great. But I'm not going to announce that yet until we have the vote all the way done. So, with that said, witches, get out there, fly those brooms, have a bright, blessed day. And as always, amen, blessed be, ashe, and a-bo-bo.